Happy Sip and Sparkle Sunday. Hello, Lori.
Hello, Lisa.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let's take a little sip. Yummy. All right. Well, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, I'm Lisa Hammett, and I do a weekly video series, Sip and Sparkle Sunday, where I love to interview a business owner in the community. And the whole purpose of this is just to join networks, reach out, and share to our fabulous community all the wonderful resources that we have. All right, so, well, Miss Lori, for our viewers, I know a lot of our viewers probably know who you are, but there may be some that do not. So why don't you just share a little bit about yourself and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, I'm Lori.hendley. I live here in McKinney and have for 22 years.
That's awesome.
I love McKinney. I am married, have a son that's 15, and I work for a local mortgage company.
Okay.
So that's something that I've done for the past, I almost hate to admit it, but 30 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Not the same company, but in the industry.
Okay,
Yeah.
so very experienced at what you do.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, let's first talk about your being a longtime McKinney resident.
Mm-hmm.
So where did you live prior to McKinney? Are you from Texas originally, or?
Yes, I'm originally from East Texas, Mount Pleasant.
Okay, yes.
That's my hometown.
Okay.
And then, of course, went to school at North Texas, and then lived all around Dallas, like people will do when they're single and, you know, moving around. And I did not get married until late in life. Actually, I was 36, and I think
Me too.
And I think at the time there was a show called Designing Women, and they said that women at that age you had a better chance of being hijacked on a plane than getting married.
Oh my gosh, that's
So,
crazy.
but anyway, I
funny.
met my husband, and he's from Tyler originally.
Really?
So all of his family's in Tyler.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Sure.
Well, cheers to getting
thank
married
you.
later in life. I love
Yes.
hearing that. Yeah, I was 36 as well, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you live in a fabulous historic home.
Thank
We
you.
just, oh my gosh, it's, my husband Tyler and I have walked by your home like a bazillion times, and we like covet your home. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
So I know you've done a lot of work to it. So can you just kind of share a little bit maybe about the history of your house, if you know anything?
I know that the house was built in the early 50s.
Okay.
It's a colonial. We bought it from the Witherspoons. Pito Witherspoon was a city councilman here.
Mm-hmm.
And we remodeled it. Actually, they were in the process of remodeling, and we told them to stop, that we wanted to just, you know, pick it up from there and do it, you know, you have your own tastes and what you want to do. And then we recently just completed our second remodel in 2015.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Okay. So brand new house.
Yeah.
Almost,
So just almost. We've got one more section. You know how you just kind
Yes.
of, you just break it off in sections. So we have
Yes.
one more section, and then we will have done it.
Yay.
You know? So, yeah.
Well, exciting.
Yes,
That's awesome.
very exciting.
Very cool.
There's a funny story about that, because when we remodeled, my husband employed a subcontractor from Tyler, from his brother-in-law, and with me standing right there, he was like, "So, if you're going to live in Tyler, where are you going to live while you're doing the remodel?" And he goes, "Oh, I guess I'll just stay in a hotel." And he goes, "Oh, no, you'll just live with us. You know, we have a room out there on the side, and it's got a private bath, its own door, and all this." And I'm just standing there going, "We're going to remodel, and the subcontractor's going to live with us." So for the next 4 months, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, but he was very nice, but I would have to tell Paul, it's 9 o'clock at night. You need to go to your room.
Yes.
I'm tired. So that was our last one. So
Wow.
So it ended on a high note, I guess.
Okay. That is funny.
Yes.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, talk a little bit about how you got into the mortgage industry.
I got into I was actually in the banking industry. I started out after college and worked for the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas.
Okay.
And usually that's kind of a training ground. You're either going to go work for the big banks and loan review, credit analysis, or be a lender.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered that I really didn't want to, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And so I left the Fed and got my real estate license.
Oh, wow.
So I quickly discovered I didn't really like selling homes. I have a lot of respect for realtors and what they do, and I was more interested in the borrower's financial capacity to buy the house.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I should be a mortgage banker.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I ended up in mortgage banking. That way I have more interaction with the customers. I'm not dealing with a controller or somebody of a big, large corporation. And it's the largest purchase that a family or a couple usually make. It's their biggest investment. It can be very emotionally charged, but it's also very rewarding. You're excited about it. And the other probably big advantage is if you're a banker, you originate a mortgage, you have to service that mortgage. And if somebody falls on hard times, you also have to be wear the black hat and be the bad guy. And I'd already done that as a bank examiner. Mm-hmm. So I really didn't want to do that. And as a mortgage originator, you bring in the mortgages, you do everything that's fun, you get to build the relationship with a customer. But thankfully, if anything goes wrong, you're not the one that has to service it. So you get all the fun, for me, you get all the fun of working with the customer, and then
you don't have to deal with all that.
You don't have to worry about, if they fall on bad times. So,
right.
So
that's good.
Just kind of a natural progression, I guess.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and then it's good for you to see the other side, too.
Yes.
Of what they go through. So I think you can really empathize and really just develop these great quality relationships with realtors because you've been there.
Yeah, I was there, and I can appreciate everything that they do to earn their commission. So, yes, I have a high respect for them. But I pretty much fell into, because of my banking background, into construction lending. Mm-hmm. So working with custom builders, doing construction permanent lending. So that's something I kind of focused on early on when I started doing this. So I've enjoyed that as well.
Great.
So, yeah.
So what, there's competition out there, of course. Mm-hmm. So what sets you apart from the competition? Why should people come and see Lori?
Because I'm wonderful.
Well, she is wonderful. And she's so cute. Yeah. I mean, my gosh, why wouldn't you want to work with her? But seriously.
I think everybody brings something to the table. Mm-hmm. And probably for me, I treat people like I want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And so I'm one of those loan officers. Yes, you can find me. Even if things are not going well, I will call you back. I will follow up. You're not going to have to chase me. And I feel like don't overcommit and underdeliver. So you've got to get out there, and if you make promises or whatever, you've got to be prepared to follow through. Mm-hmm. So, and probably what sets me apart as a mortgage lender is the fact that I have a banking background, and since I specialize in construction perm lending, I understand how that process works, because it's one closing. You're going to the table, you're closing on one loan to build or do a major renovation to your home, and then it goes into a permanent phase. And not all mortgage lenders have that background. Okay. They may have the product, but they may not truly understand how it works. And so that's my background. It's what I focused on, and I enjoy it.
Good to know. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, excuse me. So the market is changing a little bit. Yeah. So what advice would you give, or can you give, to somebody who might be in need of a loan? What would you recommend?
Well, I think the common, pretty much realtors, anybody, they want you to get pre-qualified and preferably pre-approved. That's where you've already gone through the process. You've pulled your credit. You've let the lender verify your income, your assets, your source of funds for closing, so that when you do write an offer and you've got that pre-approval letter, the seller feels that they're dealing with a qualified buyer.
Right.
And so does the realtor. The realtor doesn't really want to waste time showing you a bunch of property, especially if it's out of the price range.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's pretty much a given in the
Okay.
market. Most realtors won't show you a house unless you're at least pre-qualified, and before they do an offer, they want you to be pre-approved.
Okay.
They want to know,
Yeah.
can they fulfill the contractual terms? So, because they're putting their reputation on the line as well.
Oh,
saying,
absolutely.
I'm bringing a qualified buyer to that seller.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Good advice. So where do you see yourself going in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you want to accomplish?
Wow. What do I want to accomplish in the next 5 to 10 years? Probably like everyone else, just to continue to grow. And the one thing I like about our market and our industry is it's continuously changing. I mean, we came in from the downturn of 2008, 2010, and the market now is, really heated up, but now it seems to be more of a balance. And so it ebbs and flows like everything else, and you've got to stay on top of it. There's always changes. There's always government and regulatory changes you've got to stay on top of. So I would think I would just want to continue to grow and excel in my chosen field. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So how can people get a hold of you?
Or my email is probably really good. It's Lori, Lori, .Hendley, HENDLEY at regions.com.
Lastly, maybe one fun fact about you that people don't know.
My bucket list travel. I went to Italy.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Several years ago. I always make a point of, on big birthdays, I want to have a big vacation. That way it makes the birthday go down a little easier.
Right.
So I went with a girlfriend, and we went all over Italy. And my husband, he had no interest in going, so we went, and he thought that was going to be checked off my bucket list. And I was like, oh no, I did northern Italy. Now I want to do southern Italy.
Okay.
Loved it.
How long were you gone for?
For about 10 days.
Oh, that is top of my bucket list. Go to Italy. I'm just dying.
I highly recommend it. I loved it.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was going out in like the Tuscany Valley and staying in a little bed and breakfast. And there was this little Italian man, grandpa, that was helping with the bed and breakfast. And you would come down the spiral staircase, and he would be standing there with his white hair and his blue eyes just twinkling, just so eager to have you sit down. So that they're just so gracious, and they put out this beautiful, table of food and everything. They want you to enjoy it so much.
Oh.
So that was my favorite part. But
I love it.
I'm sure that I can go back and discover more.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you can. Yes. Well, here's to your next fabulous international adventure.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing this. I think this is great. It's cool that you do this.
Thank
you. You interview different chamber members just to let people get them to know better and what they do for a living, and just some personal things too.
Absolutely.
So,
and you don't have to be. Well, good. I've enjoyed it too. I think it's been fun, and I've learned some things that I didn't know about you as well. So, yeah. And you don't have to be a chamber member. Yes, I do. Okay. I do chat a lot with chamber members because I interact with them pretty frequently. But you don't have to be a chamber member. But obviously, we like that you live in the area somewhere, because that's always fun to just network with the people in your backyard. So, all right. Well, thanks so much, Lori.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This has been fun.
Well, it has been fun. So, until next Sunday. Oh my gosh. And how could I forget? Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Cheers. Happy St. Patty's Day. I should have had a beer. Oh my gosh. Silly me.
Should have been green.
I know, right? I should have put some green food coloring in it. Okay. Well, may your Irish day be fantastic. All right, until next Sunday, may you sip and sparkle. Bye.